Hello and welcome back. It is a hot day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Of course, temperatures reaching above 90 degrees. Of course, we're not going to talk much about temperature here, but we are going to go over the climate control of the 2021, soon to be 2022 Volvo XC90 climate control. That's going to be on the inside of the vehicle, and of course, we're looking at controlling everything by voice. But we're going to jump inside. We're going to go over some of the commands that you can do using the voice control of the vehicle. Now, voice control for convenience. Rather than having to tap and do everything manually, you can also say it by voice, make all the changes you need, everything from the temperature, where the air flows, and also down to the heating and cooling of your seats.
Before we get started, let me show you your view from the driver's seat. Of course, if you're doing your voice command for your climate control, this is exactly where you will be seated. And to carry out the task here, we're just going to be using the voice command button, which is here. And it's also going to reflect on the center screen. Now, on the center screen, if you're doing everything manually, there again, you have your climate control screen. You can adjust everything from there. You can see the heated and cool seats along the bottom. There's your temperature, which you can adjust manually. And fan speed, the whole 9 yards. One of the things you can do, if you did not want to do it manually, you can come and you can use your voice control. So I'm just going to show you here. You're going to get a shot behind the wheel. You're also going to get a shot of the screen and the button that I'll be using. Remember, when you're using your voice control, just wait for the beep. Climate.
Climate. What do you want to do?
Set temperature to 65 degrees.
Temperature set to 65 degrees.
So as I'm rolling through this, you're going to see changes here. You're going to see changes here, which in this regard, it's right along the bottom, which is your 65 degrees. And you're going to see me tap here. But definitely take a look at the changes here. The good thing about, I love when you're doing camera, when you're doing video, you can always zoom in and zoom out on the areas you would prefer to. So I'm going to try this one more time. So we've seen where I was able to set the temperature to 65 degrees. It's above 90 degrees outside, as you can tell. It's actually reading 104 here in Charlotte, North Carolina, this day in July. So I'm going to set that back to low. Oh, we won't even worry about the temperature. Let's just roll on. So you've already seen me change the temperature by voice. One of the things I can do as well is, I'm hot.
Temperature set to 62 degrees.
So if you were to say I'm hot, it actually drops the temperature by 3 degrees. If you say I'm cold, it raises the temperature by 3 degrees. Let's try that. I am cold.
Temperature set to 65 degrees.
Raise temperature.
Temperature set to 68 degrees.
Lower temperature.
Temperature set to 65 degrees.
Sync temperature.
Temperature synchronized.
So as you can see, one of the things that I want to concentrate on is going through and just using verbal commands. Now at the very end, I am going to give you a list of verbal commands that's going to be listed at the very end of the video. So if you needed to take a snapshot of that, you're more than welcome. That will be at the end. But right now, I'm just going to go through a couple of the verbal commands. Now, I don't know if you noticed there, but when I said I'm hot or I'm cold, it actually dropped or raised the temperature by 3 degrees, which is the same thing as saying raise temperature or lower temperature. Air on feet.
Air on feet.
Saw the change here. Air on body.
Air on body.
That was a trick. Air is already on body, as you can see with the blue area there. The only place that it's not is on head or on windshield. Air on feet off.
Turning off air on feet.
Turn on auto.
Turning on auto climate.
Raise fan speed.
Raising fan.
Lower fan speed.
Lowering fan.
Air on feet.
Air on feet.
Air on body.
Air on body.
Air off feet.
Air on feet.
Now, I said that wrong. It was supposed to be air on feet off. Air on feet off.
Turning off air on feet.
Air on body off.
Turning off air on body.
Now, I definitely want to turn that back on because, here's a little hint, when you don't have the air dispersed anywhere, it disperses it everywhere. So I don't want it dispersed everywhere because I want it nice and chill and max coming out of the vents, which is on the body. Air on body.
Air on body.
It's going to show you here, but it also shows you on the bottom of your screen here when you're giving it a voice command as well, even though it's for climate. Set fan to max.
Turning fan to max.
Now, one climate system on.
Climate. What do you want to do?
Raise fan.
Raising fan.
Raise fan speed.
Raising fan.
Lower fan speed.
Lowering fan.
Turn on auto.
Turning on auto climate.
Air condition on.
Turning on air conditioning.
Or you could say turn off air conditioning. Not going to say that again because it's going to turn it off. And it's already hot. Turn on defroster.
Turning on defroster.
Turn off defroster.
Turning off defroster.
Turn on rear defroster.
Turning on rear defroster.
Turn off rear defroster.
Turning off rear defroster.
Turn steering wheel heat on.
Turning on steering wheel heat.
Lower steering wheel heat.
Lowering steering wheel heat.
Turn steering wheel heat off.
Turning off steering wheel heat.
Turn on seat ventilation.
Turning on seat ventilation.
Turn off seat ventilation.
Turning off seat ventilation.
Turn on seat ventilation.
Turning on seat ventilation.
Turn on heated seat.
Turning on seat heat.
Turn off seat heat.
Turning off seat heat.
Turn on recirculation.
Turning on recirculation.
So this is just a quick note on one of the unused portions of a Volvo, which is using the climate control by voice control. Of course, as you're inside of your vehicle, rather than going to your center screen to adjust your climate, you can do everything by voice. So definitely take the time to do that because one, it doesn't take your attention away from what's in front of you, and two, it helps to keep everybody in the vehicle safe. So take time to get to know your vehicle further. Continue to tune in as you may see and as you have seen. I continue to bring you hopefully things that are going to be useful to you during your ownership of your Volvo product.